Yo, what up? We back with another edition of RPT, Real Prison Talk with Wes. And today we're gonna talk about some prison food. And I know when a lot of people, especially free world people, hear the term prison food, everybody build and think, oh yeah, I already know it's nasty. But that's not what we're talking about. We ain't talking about the slop that they serve down at the chow hall. We talking about the creations that some of the inmates make from their commissary. Not saying that, don't get me wrong, there is some, like the chicken and the burgers, there's some food that you can actually bring back from the chow hall and add to your creation and make a masterpiece. Chicken and cheeseburger is like the top two, though. I don't really remember anybody doing anything with anything and with anything else. Oh, you know what? Sometimes desperate times call for desperate. There was When I was in the Lifers block, there was a Jamaican guy. He used to bring the slop back, wash whatever slop was on the chicken or beef or whatever the slop was that day, whatever the meat product was that day. He'd wash the gravy off of it, aka slop, chop it up real small, re-season it himself, add squeezed cheese, recook it inside of his cell stinger, or I explained what a stinger was in my other video, but it's like his oven that we make. Recook it, wrap it in dough with some more squeezed cheese, and sell them for 2 soups. And everybody in the block knew, like, yo, this dude's selling slop. So nobody bought it, you know what I mean? The dudes that knew better. But every once in a while, you get the person that didn't know anybody, you know? He'd come out there with them joints. He used to call them Jamaican beef patties because he was Jamaican. And he had it wrapped in dough like a beef patty. If you come out there with them joints fresh out of his oven and you smelling that dough cooked with whatever chicken or beef it is that he cooked inside of it mixed with the cheese, you like, it does smell enticing, you know? But those of us that knew better was like, man, I go to the chow hall and do that myself for free. But there's always that new guy, there's always a new guy in prison. The new guy don't know no better. He might not have nobody that put him on until it's too late. Because I used to put my homies on like, yeah, that dude just cooking slop. A lot of people didn't have the luxury of having homies put him on. They'd be buying this dude Jamaican beef patties. Dude had loyal customers. Some of them would catch on later on in their life, like, man, I'm not buying no more of that stuff. But jail is a revolving door, so he had a pretty lucrative business with selling slop from the chow hall. Whereas on the flip side of that, I had Shelly that was a chef in prison. So if you bring him back cheeseburgers from the chow hall, or you bring him back the big chicken that they serve, I'm about to say serve in the chow hall, man, listen, he will really cook you up something worth paying for. He didn't like doing it, but he was a very good cook. But no, that ain't even, we ain't talking about the chow hall food. We talking about the snacks that we buy off commissary that I was amazed by when I came to prison and I seen what dudes was turning it into. Like, I remember watching my celly, I'm fresh in, it's time to eat. I don't went, brought my commissary. By this time, I don't seen him do this before, but I remember the first time before I got my commissary, watching him chef up, and he'd take just regular chips and stuff and make meals with it. There's a dude on the internet right now that's don't got viral for making jail food, I don't. My Sally, I had a Sally, my next door neighbor. Shout out to my homie Sonny Black. He I think I slid him a pack of pepperoni and some provolone cheese, and dude took some potato chips, crackers, cracked them up, made some dough out of that, and made us some pepperoni calzone, some squeezed cheese inside of it that tasted like I bought it from the pizza shop. I'm like, yo. I see my Sally take a hot beef sausage that they sell in commissary, chop it up, add jelly to it. I'm sitting there scratching my head like, bro, you putting jelly in that shit, bro? A little bit of hot sauce. He mixing it up. He got the hot beef sausage paws chopped up real fine. Add the hot sauce. Dropped it in his banger, his stinger, his oven, cooker, whatever you want to call it. In jail, call it banger, stinger. He drops it in the banger, cooks it, brings it out, takes the chips and the crackers that you don't crushed up, add the hot water to that, turn that back into a doughy like substance, flatten that out, and lay the jelly hot sauce concoction over the dough. Then he put the squeezed cheese on it. Then he added little jalapenos and all this little extra toppings and whatnot. Then he added some provolone. Then he took the dough and he rolled it so that the meat was the homo was in the middle. Pause. I'm sorry. And then he threw that back in the banger. Cooked that. When that came out, you would have thought we bought it from a restaurant. It was just crazy the things that I seen. Like the pastries, I ain't even get started on the pastries. Shout out to my boy X used to make these cheesecakes when we was up in the level fives, level fours, one of those maximum security prisons we was in. But shout out to the bro because he's home now and he had a 27-year sentence for shooting a cop and he's home now. So shout out to X. But X used to live right next door to me and X used to make these cheesecakes. He used to sell the cheesecakes for maybe $1 a slice. And he could tell you himself, I never bought a slice. He would have to make a whole separate cheesecake just for me and then make the cheesecake that he gonna sell to the people in the day room because one slice wasn't enough for me. The cheesecake was so good. I never even ate cheesecake before I went to prison. Like, wasn't a fan of it, didn't care about it. He come out with these cheesecakes. I don't know what he did to these cheesecakes, make them taste so good, but they selling like hotcakes. First day I bought one. I knocked because he was right next door to me. I knocked on the wall, told him, yo, I need a whole pop, bro. The next cake you make is all mine. Don't sell nobody none of that. Um, Dudes used to make pies, apple pies, sell them for 3 soups or $1, whatever you want to call it, same thing. Um, the jailhouse s'mores, I was a jailhouse s'more guy. I don't got hip. One of some throughout all my journeys in prison, somebody don't taught me the recipe for the jailhouse s'mores, which was very simple. Oatmeal raisin, no, oatmeal cookies, and whatever you gotta have peanut butter and fluff for the fillings, and then a mixture of whatever cakes and pastries you wanted in the middle of these two oatmeal cookies with peanut butter on one, fluff on the other. I usually use I used to use honey bun, a cereal bar, and I think a nutty bar. Cereals bars used to come in different flavors, so dudes used to be like, "Wow, like this one tastes like apple. Oh, this one tastes like blueberry." Like dudes used to go crazy off of the jailhouse s'mores, we call them. Some dudes call them big wheels because they put big chunks of pastries inside of theirs, and it'd be huge instead of little tiny little ones. They usually go for a soup. Big wheels might go for 2 soups, but it was delicious. I rem- the cakes, dudes used to make birthday cakes out of honey buns and candy bars. I never made a birthday cake before and never seen it done. I seen a dude make a pizza. I had I'm all over the place with this. I had a Seti make a pizza right in front of me, with potato chips, dough, soups. He put cheese. You could buy pizza sauce from commissary. He had pizza sauce. He had chopped up the hot sausage, put that in there. But threw it in the oven. The joint came out looking like a real pizza. I mean, only downside to that part of the story is we was in a gang block. We wasn't supposed to have stingers in the cell, bangers in the cell. This dude comes out with a piping hot pizza, like it's fresh out of a pizza oven, sharing it with all his little gang member buddies. Because in the gang program, they put you in a cell with a different affiliation. So me and him wasn't the same affiliation. So he come out sharing it with all his gang member buddies, his share of the pizza that he made. I was smart enough not to bring mine out because soon as he brought it out, the COs is looking at this piping hot pizza. We're not even allowed to have hot pots in the gang block. So it's like only food you get hot is the food that they come slide to you. Yes.
But anyway, that's another story. Back to the story at hand. My glasses is telling me that they're dying. Dudes used to make these cakes with these honey buns and candy bars, and it was delicious. I remember going on a visit and telling my family, I was amazed, like the things they did with these commissary snacks. So I'm telling my family, like, yo, you could take a bag of chips and break them up and put crackers in it, add a little bit of hot water. And I remember my little sister looking at me like, I'm telling her we gonna do that when I get home. She was like, yeah, Wes, we got real food out here. We good on that. So it's just, it's amazing. You'd be amazed. Don't knock it till you try it. I promise you, you'd be surprised. Um, and if we're gonna conclude the video on that note, if you have any questions that you don't feel comfortable leaving in the comment section, for some reason, a lot of people don't feel comfortable leaving their comments in the comment section. But if that's the case, do like everybody else and hit my DM. My my Instagram is wes.smith.129. That's wes.smith.129. Um, be on the lookout for my book that's coming out, How to Survive Prison. Should be sometime this month. And I got a lot more projects I'm working on right now. Until next time, peace.